Stacy here.
Well, it's odd because I'm standing here.
Yes.
Well, this is a one-time thing.
This is the first time ever that you guys get to see Day. He's usually behind the mic, behind the camera, I mean.
Usually. I'm not doing this.
But today he made an exception. He wanted to say what up to you guys. Stacy couldn't be here today.
I'm nervous.
You nervous?
Fuck no. What are they going to say about me?
Oh my goodness.
That's how he look?
Well, let's get started with the winner of this week. We have a new winner, and her name is Miss Esther.
Yeah, Miss Esther.
Miss Esther, congratulations.
We're
We're going to send you your $50, Miss. Thank you.
50
and
cash.
if you want to win 50 cash, all you got to do is comment, like, share, subscribe. Tell your mom to watch us. Tell your grandma to watch us. Tell your baby daddy and your baby mom to watch us.
You know what I mean? Tell your side nigga to watch us too, because you know they want to get in tune with what you get in tune with too.
And then they all just got a comment done, and they might win 50 cash. That's it.
And then, you know, shout out all the new subscribers, true subscribers. Appreciate y'all for supporting the MellowSpears Show. Of course, Stacy couldn't be here today, but she'll be back. Better than ever.
And better.
But we have the lovely Gabitha here. Yo, not you trying to catch the angles. So, how was your weekend?
My week was actually really good. I was in Puerto Rico. I was working with a few people over there. We were in the studio recording some heat.
Some heat rockers?
Mm-hmm.
Ready to hit these streets?
Facts.
So, I think today's topic is semi-serious. You think so? I think we all go through this shit.
Everyone has to go through something crazy in their life, you know? Something that's going to mold them into the person that they are today.
So, all right. So, let me ask you this. How significant is not having... All right, what's worse? Not having the mom around or not having a dad around? Boy or girl or both?
I think mom. Mom, and I say that because... I mean, I'm a daddy's girl. Me and my dad I've always been like really, really close to him since we were little. Mm-hmm. But you know, a mother's love is a mother's love. And I've always truly felt that anyone can be a father. Anyone can be a father, but it's really hard for a mom. Like, you know, for a mom to really leave their kid, that's really hard, and I feel like it's very rare. You think that society has made it a shame for women to walk out on their kid and not shame the father for walking out on their kid when it's like it's a group effort? Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day.
I mean, you know, I'm not a mom, but speaking on the child's perspective, I feel like it is like it's harder for a mom to leave their little cub.
Who you think it hits worse? Like, generally speaking, like, all right, the mom is not in the household. Which gender it affects worse, and what years, like, what portion of their life it hurts the worst?
Probably the son, because I feel like it's always the son with the mommy and then the girls with the daddy. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's always harder. Like, if a mom was to walk out, I think it would be harder on the son. But
you don't think, like, as the son gets older and he has to start experience things as a man, you think that at some point the mom has done her job and then the dad has to like
for sure. You said, it's a group thing, you know? It's it takes a village to raise a child, like they say.
There ain't no villages out here no more.
I don't know. I also feel like I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like it's harder for a mom to not be there for a son, and then vice versa for a daughter and a father.
So, like with daddy's girls, like what behaviors you think like people like experience because the dad is not around?
I don't know. I also kind of think that that's BS.
What? Daddy's issues?
Daddy issues. I feel like
that's... But you just said you're a daddy's girl.
Yeah, I am. But that doesn't mean that anything that happens in my life, I'm going to be like, I have daddy issues. Like, you know.
Oh, you think it's a cop-out?
Absolutely. I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, you know what's right, what's wrong, and you don't have to blame it on having daddy issues.
At what point? Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, common sense ain't common. Mm-hmm. So at what point in people's lives do you think that common sense should just be like second nature, whether or not the parent is around or not?
That's a really hard question. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't think there's a certain age. I think it's more so just life. Like, you know, when you experiences life, when you go through certain things, that gives you the knowledge and the you know, like, I don't know. It's just, it's very difficult. You can't say at 21 years old, you should already know. Or at 23, you should already know. So I feel like it's just experiences.
So you don't expect someone at 25 years old that didn't have one of their parents around, let's just say they mom around, and then you don't expect them to not have common sense?
No.
Because, you know, that is traumatic, not having a parent around. It's
very traumatic, but I just feel like it also has to do with the person themselves. Like, you know, I feel like you just can't dwell on anything like that. You just have to either keep it pushing and, you know, you can't sit there and be like, your whole life you cannot sit there and be like, oh, I didn't have my mom, I didn't have my dad. You gotta.
But I think daddy just do exist for women. Though.
I don't think so.
Why not? You see how they be acting out here?
I don't think so.
A father provides structure.
No.
Why not?
I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's not needed. You know, it's not like you're gonna turn out to be a piece of shit if you don't have your father figure or your mother figure. I truly don't feel like.
Do you believe there are pieces of shits out here?
Absolutely.
Do you think that's the cause because a parent wasn't involved?
Some might say, just like they say, you know, you're a product of your environment. You're a product of the people you're around. Some feel like that's true. And I personally don't feel like that's true because I know people that were raised around straight crackheads. You know, sadly.
Well, crackheads got common sense. You don't think so?
No, but I'm saying, like, you know, I know people that were raised around those, you know, crackheads or people that are no good. And they have master degrees. They have an amazing career. They're not anything like what they were raised around.
That's the common sense element of it.
Right, like, but that's what I'm saying. I don't believe in the saying that you are the product of your environment or you are a product of who you are around. I don't believe in that.
So do you believe in that there's a possibility that because a father or just a mother or a parent in general, can that convince the child now to break the cycle or continue it?
Well, speaking for myself, I don't think so because growing up, I didn't have, well, not growing up, but from the age of 15 to 21, I didn't have my mother or my father. Mm-hmm. And I think I turned out fine.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't,
you cursed me out in the car.
I feel like, but that's attitude-wise. But as far as like, you know, usually those are the crucial years in one's life. You know, that's when you start testing drugs or, you know, having sex or hanging out with bad influence. And it's easy for you to get influenced by the people that surround you, especially at that age, you know, because you're so like.
So naive.
Yeah, so naive, so immature. So I don't know. I think I turned out to be okay.
Who you think will hold down a jail bed better, a woman or a mom or a dad?
In my case, my mom.
She held it down?
She held it down.
How long she did?
My mother did 6 years in the feds.
You see, the feds is like kind of nice though.
It don't matter. It's still jail.
Yeah, it's jail. I mean,
it's jail and you leaving your kids, you know?
I get it.
So
I think 16 hours.
And being a mama cub, you know, mamas don't play about their kids.
So wait, hold on. You the only child or you got
No, I have an older sister. She's 6 years older than me.
Okay, so she at the time was what, 22?
21.
At the time?
When she went in, when my mom first got locked up, yeah, she was 21. I was 15.
Okay, so your mom wasn't there and Pops wasn't there at all? Like, was it because of legal issues or?
No, I don't even know, to be honest. Mind you, like I said, I was a daddy's girl. And then my parents got divorced when I was 13. And once they got divorced, he just bounced to his country.
All right. So whose job is it to keep the family together after a breakup between a mother and a father?
I don't think it's anybody's job. If you don't want to be there, you don't have to be forced to be there.
But I'm saying as far as the image of it for the kid.
What I can say is that in my mother Always, always, always. Even when she was locked up, she would call every single day and she would be like, did you speak to your dad? Or like on his birthday, she would call me and she'll be like, today's your dad's birthday, call him. You know, my mom was never that type of person, like a bitter baby mom to be like, you know, fuck your dad, he's a piece of shit. She never, never, never did that to me or to my sister. She actually did the opposite. She was always like, you know, that's your father at the end of the day, call him, make sure he's okay. Today's his birthday, today's Father's Day, call him. Like, she was always the reminder. And I feel like that plays a huge role in a child's life also.
I had, for my birthday, I had to call my father.
I had to call my father too because he wouldn't call me. But,
on your birthday, you had to call your father?
But I'm saying, like, you know, that I feel like that shows so much of a woman, you know? Because it could have been easy for my mom to be like, oh, fuck your father. He left you. He never gave me money for you guys. Because in reality, that's what it was.
But she wasn't like that.
But she wasn't like that. She was never like that. She never disrespected my father even after he disappeared. She never did any of that. So I feel like, you know, me being a grown 31-year-old woman today, I feel like she set a huge example.
Why do you think it's hard for women nowadays to keep that type of, like, loyalty to the image of the family now? Because these dudes out here don't give enough value to the women to think that, all right, I'm not going to do what your mother did, which was make sure he's involved.
I feel like it's probably just what you're taught. Because my mom, when my grandparents got divorced, it was the same way. Like, you know, my grandmother never talked down on my grandfather, and my grandfather, vice versa. They never spoke bad about each other. And till this day, whenever my grandma comes to New York or when my grandfather goes to Puerto Rico, you know, they see each other and everything's like, okay, there's no bad blood, there's no tension. So I felt like, you know, she learned from that. And I feel like that's what I learned from my mom and my grandfather. So I just feel like it's a domino effect, you know?
So y'all made sure y'all maintain a cycle.
For sure.
Because it was positive.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. I think
it's so many like corrupt cycles nowadays. Like, it's not even like families being set up properly. It's like, you know, these girls and guys nowadays become parents unknowingly. And then it's like it just hits them from left field and they don't know how to they haven't even fully developed as like adults yet.
It's true.
So to bring a kid now and then the relationship don't work out and then it's like fuck your dad and
that's really what it is. That's the sad truth. And I feel like even if you feel like that, I just feel like you shouldn't ever, you know, show your kid that. Because you can feel that way. You know, you don't have to be, you be so positive or whatever the case is. But at least in front of your kids, I feel like you should stunt. Like, you know, show your kids that they don't have to be salty all the time. They don't have to, you know, hear mommy and daddy talk so bad about each other. If you're going to do that on your own time, you know. But don't ever do it in front of the kids because that also affects the kid.
You saw that video, the dude that bought food for his kid and not the other kids?
No.
All right, so there was a video on Instagram, right? And then I guess a dude had one of his kids with his baby mothers, and he only bought his child out of the rest of the kids' food.
That's so messed up.
Why is that messed up?
It's a kid, bro. It's a kid.
But it's only his, like he only bought his kid.
It doesn't matter. That's like you. There's 3 kids outside or 4 kids that your kid is playing around with, and the ice cream truck passed. You're gonna buy your kid an ice cream and not the rest?
You don't know
They're
the
kids. They
Fuck them kids.
don't know. Come on. They don't know. Like, it's not like an adult where it's like, you know, I gotta have my own money to buy me ice cream. But they're kids. You can't.
But
that's
why
fucked
should
up.
okay.
If that's the case, then tell your kid it's time to come home and you give the kid the ice cream at home.
Okay, so the women, the mother has 4 kids. She has, all right, I'll just say 3 baby fathers. All right. One of the baby fathers, which was him that bought the food, only bought his child food.
I get it. I get what you're telling me, but it's still wrong.
Why is he obligated to the other kids?
It's wrong because had he been there to pick up his kid and take him to go, like, let's say that was his weekend. You're there to pick up your kid. Cool. Granted, give the kid the food in the house when y'all get home. But if you know that the other kid is there, you can't feed. What if the other baby was hungry?
Nigga sandwich, little nigga.
Nah. That's not even funny. That's an innocent child. You don't do that. That says so much about that person, whoever he is.
What you mean? Why does it?
No.
Why does it got to?
No.
Why does a man have to
That
be so
now let's
look,
say if it was a gift, then I feel like that's different. Like let's say it's the little kid's birthday and he's coming with a gift for that kid. Then I get it. Like, you know, you don't gotta go and be acting like Santa Claus and buying every other kid a gift, but it's their birthday, so you know.
Some people still do that, like that, just so the other kid doesn't feel left out. They'll give him a side.
Especially if she has 4 kids and let's say that that's her last baby daddy. Bro, you decided to bring a child with this person who already had 3 other kids. So you chose to have those, to take in those kids.
She chose to have kids with the other dudes too. They didn't stick around.
Nah, that's wrong. That guy's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit for being there for his child, not the other child's not his. He's a piece of shit. Really?
He is a piece of shit.
All right, shoes on the other foot. The dad has 4 kids with 2 different babies.
It's not about whether it's their kid or another person's kid. The fact is that it's a child. It's a child, and children don't understand the things that an adult is going to understand. So if you sit there and you're feeding a child and the other child is watching or even eating a cookie, it's like, you know, you have to, that's a perfect example for you to teach your kid how to share. That right there would be the perfect moment for you to be like, you have to share.
Off my dollar?
Yes.
Wow.
Bro. Wow.
But I'm not saying I personally do this. I'm only playing devil's advocate. Me, on the other hand, in that situation, yes, I would have bought the other little niggas Happy Meals. But there are dudes that do.
I'm sure they are, and they're pieces of shit.
Why though?
Because that's wrong. You do that with adults. You're a piece of shit to adults, not to children. And it's like, what example are you setting to a child who's gonna be tomorrow's?
Right.
Who's gonna be the future? Like, you can't do that.
I believe that children are the future.
Yeah, they are the future. You're setting an example.
These kids is bad as shit.
That's why, because of people like that.
You think that cultivates like a kid turning out a certain way because he remember? Because I think you underestimating how kids observe things. Like,
they do observe.
All right, but then you said you treat adults like that as far as not, you know, being obligated to get them food. Mm-hmm. But then in the same token, you're setting up your child to think that, okay, somebody else that isn't obligated to me is still obligated to get me something.
No, I don't think that's true, because at the end of the day, it's just a child, bro.
All right.
Like, it's food. It's not, like I said, it's not a toy, you know? It's food. You don't do that.
What if he just went like, yo, this not even good for you? Like, I'm feeding my child like shit.
No. Nah, man, you don't do that to a kid. A kid is too innocent.
All right, so boom, there was another video, right? It was a mother getting on a flight, and it was a fat dude at the window seat. And she asked the guy that paid for that seat, hey, is it okay if my child can sit at the window?
Now, I already know where you went with this, and no, because
he did say no, and then she took offense to it.
No, good.
Why?
No, he shouldn't have to give up his seat.
All right. Same thing. I should have to get a little nigga Happy Meal.
This is different though. You paid for this seat, because if you wanted your kid to sit in the seat, you had the option of choosing a window seat. Now you just being cheap, and you knew that someone else was gonna be sitting there. So now you thinking that this person was going to be nice enough because it's for a child. But if this person paid for their seat, you could have done the same thing if you really wanted your kid to sit in the window seat.
Aren't you putting that same
No, because that's it's a whole different thing, because she knew as an adult and a woman, you know that you have to pay for a window seat. So now she's just trying to be slick.
So
that's completely different.
So you mean to tell me the mother didn't know that the other 2 baby daddies wasn't going to be there to get their kids Happy Meals?
No.
Why not?
No.
This had to be some level of accountability.
You cannot compare the two.
Okay, so in that situation with the airplane and the guy not giving up the seat, what do you think the valuable lesson in that is for the child? How you think the child should take that lesson? Because this is a lesson.
Nothing, that you don't always get shit your way.
Same thing with the little nigga.
No,
with the Happy
that's food. It's food. You never deny food to nobody, whether it's a 68-year-old or a 3-year-old. You don't deny food to anyone.
Listen,
you cannot compare food to a window seat.
Well, it's something you want.
No, but it's not food. You're not gonna fucking die if you don't sit at the window. You can die without food.
what if she like gets like airplane sick and like looking out the window?
Well, then she should have paid for her damn seat.
It's a 6-year-old. Gaby, you gonna do that?
The mother should have paid for the seat because she ain't stupid. Everybody knows you got to pay for a window seat. Everyone wants the window seat.
Not everybody. Well, I like
exactly 9 times out of 10 the person, and that's why they paid for that window seat. So if she knew that in advance, she should have paid for it and stopped being cheap, because now she went on the plane and she tried to be slick to basically bribe the person like, oh, my kid. No, you and your kids should have bought a window seat.
Do you think that situation would have been different if like the father was present?
No.
You think it would have been the same thing?
Absolutely. I paid for my seat and I'm going to sit here.
All right.
I'm not wrong.
All right. What if the father... Okay. In that situation, a father's role is to like protect and show honor for his family. Like, yo, look, man, you don't got to talk to my kid like that. You could just...
I'm sure you don't have to say like that either. But, you know, simply, hey, I paid for my seat and I don't want to change seats. That's it.
So what's the dip? All right. So I didn't buy the little nigga a Happy Meal, right? The little nigga grows up and he becomes a shithead parent, just like his father that wasn't there to give him the Happy Meal. Does he blame that on the guy that didn't give him a Happy Meal?
No,
or
but
does
I'm
he
sure
blame...
he's going to remember it. Like, yo, you remember that time that you came to bring my brother a Happy Meal? And if it was me, I would smack the shit out the nigga with a freaking... Do you remember? Because that's messed up. That's food and it's a baby. You don't do that.
The nigga was like 5 or 6.
It don't matter. It's still a baby. It's a child. You don't do that.
Yo, cheeseburgers from McDonald's ain't even good for you like that.
Nah.
Like, why do people still feed their kid McDonald's?
Because people don't want to cook every day.
Remember when our parents used... Yo,
my mother took me to McDonald's for my 5th grade graduation.
Which one?
On Burnside.
Did they have the Playhouse in it?
I think they had taken it out already.
Nah, the one on 1600 Boston Road by 174 had the little Playhouse. It had the Ronald McDonald seat like this. And you used to sit... I never realized how wild that shit was. 'Cause I used to sit on Ronald McDonald lap like, yeah, bouncing on that shit. Thinking about it now, I'm like, yo, fam, why was I doing that? They used to give you the cake.
I feel like if you don't have a picture next to Ronald McDonald, like, did you even have a childhood? I don't know.
No, let's get back to the real issue. Parents are liars.
Why?
Because they said that they didn't have the money to get McDonald's. Mind you, let's go back 20 plus years when we was asking for this shit. That shit was
probably like $3.
Yo, a Big Mac was $1.39.
That's insane.
So you sitting here and tell me you ain't got $2 to get a nigga a Big Mac?
I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe just...
I've been lied to too much by my mom. There's food in the house. We get to the house, nothing is cooked.
That was the most famous line for parents back in the day. There's food at home.
What food? There's no chicken thawed out. There's none of that. Like, $5 can get you what at that time? 5 or 6 things off the menu?
Probably.
So what's that? 2 cheeseburgers, 2 fries, and a drink.
I feel like McDonald's used to hit back in the day.
It did. It was like, because it was cheap. Gas used to hit good too when it was cheap. Now that shit be burning like air.
Damn.
Yo, I be putting $20 in my gas tank, and I really be like confident when I do it. Be like, yeah, this shit right here about to take me to the top.
Yo, man, he said I be confident. I can't.
And as soon as I put that shit in, it's like that shit go to like a quarter of a tank, and I be like, all right, my nigga, we gonna go in eco mode the rest of the day.
That's crazy. Yo, gas is really wild.
Shit is expensive. If our daddies was there, I think they would.
Nah, I don't know. I didn't have my father or my mother. And like I said, I feel like I turned out to be great.
You sure?
Yeah.
What good or bad qualities you think you possess without them being there?
I'm not even going to lie, though. To be honest, like, you know, like I said, my mom was locked up from 15 to 21 years old. Mm-hmm. And being those my most, like, crucial years of my life, I feel like I became very what's the word? Like
sassy?
No, not sassy. The opposite, actually. I became very
I'm about to say.
I forgot the word. But I wanted things to be my way or no way.
Or the highway?
Yeah, it was like I don't know. I was very angry also. Because I didn't fully I did understand, But it was just like, why me? Like, you know, as
But
a child.
that's parental issues though. Like you see how you say nobody can have like daddy issues that don't exist. That's a parental issue.
Right, but I don't sit here now as an adult and be like, oh, I have daddy issues. I have mommy. No, I don't do that.
Well,
And
because
when in the beginning though, like when my mom first came home, it was hard. Like it was hard. It was hard for us to get along because when she left, I was a child. I was young. I was a teenager. Now she's coming home. I'm a woman. Like, you know, I'm 21. That's it. You can't come home and try to tell me what I can and can't do. You know? So it's just
putting your finger in her face?
Nah, not like that. I would never do that. Not even now at 31. But it's just it was very difficult for us to try and get back on track, you know?
Well, yeah, 5 years is a significant amount of time to not be around someone of that importance. So when they come back around and try to reacclimate themselves with you, it's like
it was hard.
Like
it was
what
very
can you
hard.
tell me right now
Yeah.
that I needed then now? Like I've learned everything that I need. At least majority of the things. She would have taught you, you've already learned on your own.
Yeah, I did. And I felt like it was very hard for us to communicate. You know, I feel like she still saw me as a 15-year-old and I saw myself as where I was, like, you know, as a 21-year-old. And it was just it was awkward. It was hard. It took us I want to say maybe like 4 years for us to actually have the relationship that we have now. But in the beginning, like I even moved to Florida because I didn't want to be around her.
It's like screw you, mom. I'm out of here.
It was really, really bad. And I'm just happy that we were able to move forward from that.
Well, I think with the mother situation going to jail, it's like, I think it's a little bit easier to mend that fence because it's like you understand the situation because evidently whatever was done for her to get locked up, it was on the basis of making sure her family was good, which includes you.
For sure.
Not saying that the father doesn't do it, but it's both selfish acts in general because it's like you risking your freedom when you don't really have to for me. But I think on the mother's side, it's a little bit more... It's more motivated towards your actual family. Yeah. The father is motivated to your family, but it's like, it's still... I like doing this shit.
I mean, but in reality, I get what you're saying, and that's exactly how it went down. You know, like my parents got divorced when I was 13, and my mom and my father went back to his country. He basically, like, as fucked up as it sounds, he basically disappeared. So imagine, you know, being born and raised with your father, living with your parents from you're born till you're 13, and then all of a sudden he just like disappears. It's like, how do you do that?
Hey man, welcome to my
So
world.
you know, my mom had to pick up pick up his slack. And my mother was working a full-time job. She was working at the Marriott at the time.
So she wasn't able to like be the parent in the house like how she would want to because she has to maintain the finances and then come home and, you know, still try to maintain a household, but it's still not the engagement you need from a parent. It's just like, all right, mom's tired.
Yeah. So, and that's exactly how it was. So it's like, it was difficult. It was very difficult.
Daddy wasn't there to change my underwear.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't wish that on anybody because, you know, it's hard.
What you think about stepfathers then and now?
I never had a stepfather, so I don't know.
Like you never experienced it?
I've never experienced it. Never. And I never had a stepmother either.
Well, I mean, your mom's is around. I think like stepmoms is like taboo. Like it's rare you see like a father being a full-time father to his kid unless something drastic happened. Like the mom passed away.
But I mean, now my mom got remarried not too long ago, but it's like I'm a grown-ass woman. I feel like, you know, my father raised me, so
you can't consider
I
him
would
a
never
stepfather?
consider someone else as my stepfather. And you know that I love my mom's boyfriend. But it's just, I feel like I'm disrespecting my father if I was to ever say that, you know? I feel like the word a step parent is when they're there
to step in
from like 13 or like, you know, at a young age to
so
now.
You think it's like an 8? Like my stepfather been in my life. I'm 29 now since I was 4.
Oh, that's your father.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's your father. That's not your stepfather.
You know how it's real when I address my biological father as my biological father.
You see?
That's how you know it's like, okay.
Exactly. That's your father. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, at a certain age, like had my mom's husband now raised me since they broke up and I was like 13, 14, then I would be like, yeah, that's not my stepfather. But, you know, I feel like you can't just throw that word around.
Do you think that stepfathers, you think the pool of men nowadays that doesn't necessarily want kids, but they dealing with a girl that has kids, do you think that they have the potential to be a great stepfather and replace the father that was the actual father that was absent?
It depends if they want to be. Like, just because you with someone who has a kid doesn't mean that you're a step parent. You know, you got to actually be there. You got to actually do things for the child. You have to, you can't just be like, yeah, my girl has a kid, that's my stepson. No, there's more to it. You know, there's more to just your girl has a kid.
So where do you draw the line before you actually insert yourself in that dynamic of the child and the mom?
What do you mean?
Say for instance, I'm a dude that is interested in a girl, but she has a kid. Like, when do I like insert myself? When she allows
when she's
it?
Ready. Yeah, when she's ready, whenever they're ready.
Because you know, some women, they want you to like take the lead sometimes.
In a situation like that, if you the one with the kid, I feel like whoever has the kid, it's whenever they're ready to introduce. Because that's a big step.
But you know, sometimes
you can't just introduce anyone to your kid.
Oh no, there's women out here that do that shit.
Well, I don't know, but I feel like that's a very big step.
Do you think it's awkward for a child to start calling their stepdad dad?
That's so weird.
Like,
so weird.
Like, it's like my step pops, like it is weird.
But you see, he raised you since you were a child. So, you know, you at that age, you're seeing this person every single day. So I feel like it's more, it comes naturally as a child, as a baby, to be like, dad, like, you know, I see this person every day. I'm thinking that's my father. Versus a 9 or 10-year-old or even 15-year-old. Now all of a sudden you're going to start calling this person dad. Is just like,
nigga, you ain't my dad.
Yeah, that's very weird. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it depends on like the significance that person plays in that child's, like, no matter the age, like how much they impose themselves.
Maybe, but
because you know, kids are delicate.
That's just weird.
You know, kids are kind of delicate.
I don't know.
Like with new people that come around.
But that's what I'm saying. So imagine, you know, you're that age and then all of a sudden you're going to start calling this person dad. I feel like it comes more natural from a baby, you know, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, because they're still in that learning phase. So if they see you more than their actual biological father, it'll be more natural for them to be like, dad, because this is who I see every day.
What do you think that men have a problem with facing when it comes to parenthood?
A lot.
Like what?
Just a lot. I feel like men have it so easy, especially when the mom is raising the kid. I feel like they're very laid back. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like a lot of the things that a man should be doing, they just be like, oh, the mom. Let the mom take care of it, the mom.
Do you believe that dudes have adapted this thought that, okay, the mother of my kid, she got her shit together. She knows how to hold down a household. I don't got to worry about nothing.
But that's what I'm saying. They're very laid back.
My daughter or son is with her. I can go out and do me.
They're mad laid back, and they'll just be like, yeah, the mom. Now, and that's not fair.
What effect you think that has on the child as the child grows up and sees that? Like, clearly the father's there, but he's not there.
Yeah.
Because the father relies on the mom just to be who she established herself as.
Yeah.
So what effect you think that has on the child?
Maybe that child's gonna grow up to do the same thing.
Like, just not break the cycle.
And that goes back to what I was talking about with my grandparents and my parents, you know? I feel like it'll be very shitty of me if I was to go and have a kid and then in the future, if the father and I don't work out, I'm going to be very shitty to be there like, your father's a piece of shit. Your father don't help me financially. Your father... No, because if I wasn't put through that, why would I want to put my future child through that? It's not in me.
What's a good number like to like be set financially for a woman to be satisfied that clearly the relationship is not there? But
To be honest, I heard that now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that daycare for one kid is like $1,500 a month.
Where they at?
It's in New York.
For a month?
$1,500 a month. That's fucking rent right there.
What?
So for a guy to not be helping their baby mom financially, even if it's just like, half of that. Because in reality, there's way more than $1,500. You got to buy, let's say the baby's a really small baby, Pampers, wipes, clothes, because babies are constantly growing. Food. And that's just that. That's not including.
$1,500 a month for me to drop my kid off.
And a lot of guys will give $100 and be like, oh, I gave you $100 last month. Like, where is that? Like, that's fucked up, bro.
What's your take on parents buying designer for themselves?
Ridiculous.
And not doing the same for their child?
Oh. I thought you was gonna say for the kids. I think that's fine, to be honest. Only because I wouldn't want to. I mean, as long as the baby doesn't look,
like wild.
Yeah, wild.
Nah, because there be some kids out here.
No, I wouldn't want to buy my baby designer anyway, because they grow too fast. It's stupid. Now, if you're in designer, your kid is like in Zara, or I think that's cute. I don't think there's a problem with that.
So you're not opposed to a dude buying a $1,500 Ferragamo belt, and then his kid got on.
No, as long as his kid has on good quality clothes, I mean, I'm not gonna expect my kid to be wearing freaking Fendi 24/7 because that's stupid.
His kids,
they grow out of that. But now, as long as my kid looks clean and good clothing and well put together, buy whatever the hell you want to buy, bro.
So what if that money can be utilized to get other things for the child?
Like what? If it's not being put to like
a trust fund.
All right, but it could still be done.
A trust, yeah, but people don't look at it that way. Like, open up a trust fund for your kid instead of getting them designer. Like, that helps them in the long run.
It does. It definitely does. But like I said, as long as what's there right now is taken care of, then I guess I'm not gonna fight with no dude over his money. As long as my kid is taken care of right now, then that's cool.
All right, the relationship is not together anymore, but his money is still tied to the child.
Right.
So it's just not his
But that's what
money.
I'm saying. Like, regardless, I'm not going to sit there and fight with some dude, because then I feel like if I have to fight with you, it's because you genuinely don't care. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to sit there and fight with you. As long as the kid is taken care of right now, then so be it.
You ever saw a kid tell their dad, like, yo, why you don't want me? Or it's only the movie?
No. That's not even funny, because there's probably kids out there that has me saying
like,
that.
Dad, like, why you don't want me?
But that's definitely some movie shit right there.
Like, why you don't want me, Dad? Like, nigga, because I ain't got it.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It's like these new crew, like the fathers that I know, my friends, like they're there for their kid, like 110%. Like I could not be associated with them or deal with them if I know they have a kid and then they just not there. But yeah. I do understand the thought of, the mom holds it down so much. It does make the father's job easier. All he got to do is just the heavy lifting. The other side of the heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. But the mother in the household, like, she be having it down pat. I just want to know, like, how does that work for fathers that's, like, considered the single parent?
I don't know. I respect a man who's a single father. Like, I feel like that takes so much. And I salute anybody out there who's a single full-time father. Because you could be a single father and you don't even have full custody of your kid. But when you have full custody of your kid and you're a single full-time father, I don't know. There's just something about that I feel like it looks so, like it says so much about that man. Because that's what they are at that point, a man. Like, you got your fucking underwears put on right. You're a real man.
Your boxers put on, your briefs, your briefs in a bunch.
I think that shit is so fire when I see that.
Do you think dads like that use their kid to get bitches?
Probably not. It's like a single mom. They're not gonna be like, "Hey, I'm a single mom." Like,
no, it's a difference. There is a difference.
I don't think
a dude is not going. A dude sees like a girl with her child and how they interact.
It's because
great.
it's normal in society to see a single mom versus a man,
a single dad.
A single dad, yeah.
I think a single dad can pull some bitches.
I'm sure he can, but as far as him using it to like lure a bitch in, I don't think
that's mad creepy.
No,
like using a child.
Yeah, I don't think that.
You ever saw the movies where like he'll give the kid like some money or something or to send to the girl?
I don't watch movies, and I don't know what kind of movies you be watching.
Nah, there was some movie like a dude that sent a kid. Oh, Big Daddy.
I never watched that.
You never saw Big Daddy with Adam Sandler? Yo, you been under a rock?
I don't like movies. I fall asleep.
Fuck you, narcoleptic or something?
I fall asleep. It's so comfortable to like get snuggled in and watch a movie. Like
you don't, so you never like fully, but you saw Titanic though, right?
Absolutely, I watched movies.
You saw Jack get frozen to death, right?
But I'm not a movie person to be like, I need to watch that movie.
That movie was 4 hours, Gaby. You saw it.
9 times out of 10, I'll watch a movie and I'll deadass forget what the movie was even about.
But you watch Harry Potter,
of course, but because I read the books. So I had to watch the movie.
Did Harry Potter have a dad? He did, right?
Yes.
He had a 2-family household?
James Potter. What do you mean?
Jimmy.
I can't. How you said Harry Potter had a father?
Now that I think about it, a lot of movies really be having 2-family households, and it almost seems unrealistic. I guess because we're, the neighborhoods we from, we don't normally see like 2-family. Like the first, like probably show or movie I've ever seen, like you see the mother and the father, was probably like the Cosby Show. Probably a bad example because
No. What do you mean? There was mad shows that showed one family.
Well, with one parent.
Oh, one parent. I thought you meant like one family as in a father and a mother.
So wait, what shows that had one parent in the household that you could think of? I got one.
I feel like I feel like there's for sure some, but I can't think of them right now.
What was the show where John Ritter died?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh shit! What's the name?
I'm trying to think of like my Disney shows. Like Raven had both her parents.
She had both parents. Moesha.
I think actually
sister. Well, technically,
yeah.
That's odd. Like y'all twins, but. One of them is your father and the other one is the mother. Like,
yeah, but Ray and Lisa never did nothing either.
So, yeah, but how were they twins though?
Because they got adopted.
Oh yeah, they did get adopted.
Oh my God.
You think Roger had his family in the household? His mom and pops?
No, because I feel like I think when they used to be like, oh, your mom is calling you.
And his dad was
to kick him out.
I think he was I don't think he was trying to go after the girls. I think he was just trying to get Ray's attention. Like my dad was not there, and like you.
No, he was obsessed with the girls. What do you mean?
But how do you choose which one though?
I'm sure they different. Just because you're twins doesn't mean you're like I
don't know.
You can have different personality.
There's one set of twins. Shout out the Rubero twins. That's on Instagram, and
I don't know.
One of them is like, I don't want to body shame. Okay, one of them is like build. Like
she works out?
Athletic, yes. They both work out, but she's more like build athletic, and the other one is like kind of skinny. So that's easy to tell apart. But T and Tamara, it was hard to tell them apart.
No, I used to be able to tell them apart.
How?
First of all, one was definitely way more dorky than the other one, and one had a little
the birthmark.
Exactly.
One of them had it on the left. Tamara had it on the right cheek.
And the other one didn't have anything.
And she had nothing.
Exactly.
But you couldn't really tell like during that time. I couldn't tell.
Yes, I could tell when they were dorky.
Oh, now I remember the show. He's a smart guy.
Oh, smart guy. Yeah. That's Tia and Tamara's brother.
Yeah, that's their real life brother. But he only had his pops in the crib.
Yeah. You're right.
I used to like that show, man.
I forgot about that. But yeah, I don't think, man, I miss the 90s. Those shows used to be way more popping.
Taina didn't have both parents in the household. She's at her mom's.
Really? Oh, I don't remember
Taina.
But I feel like the show, what was the show?
As Told by Ginger. It was just her mom.
No, yeah, that too. But there was a Zendaya, right? That's how you pronounce her name?
Zendaya?
They said Zendaya at the BET Awards, but she was on the show in the Disney Channel
The new Disney Channel or the old Disney Channel?
The old Disney Channel.
Which one?
Oh my God, I forgot the name. But her mom was a single mom also on the show.
So you had the old Disney. You had the Lizzie McGuire show. You had...
Well, this was it was after all of that.
Oh, see, I don't...
Nah, but I was like 14, 15 when the show was out. It was
stopped.
around the same time as
Cheetah Girls?
No, after That's So Raven.
I'm trying to think. Was it with the twins on the boat?
No, that's Zach and Cody.
Sweet Life by Zach and Cody?
That's Zach and Cody.
Now that I think about it, they didn't have their parents, did they?
Their parents were like supposedly rich and always traveling, so they would leave them in the hotel.
Those are some shitty parents. See, we have to, now we got to bring them to the altar. They were some shitty parents. Why are you leaving them with some strangers on the boat?
That's true. That's
like, how do you
true.
do that shit?
I feel like rich parents are shitty parents.
Yeah, because all they care about is just working, and not their kid.
And that's when they pay the nanny, and the nanny is the one that basically raises the kid. Like, I feel like
that's what Kanye was complaining about. Like, my nanny's raising my kids.
You see? I feel like rich parents are shitty parents.
You think Kim is a shitty parent?
Probably.
I saw that video on Instagram with Saint bugging out.
You see that? Yeah. It's like they have no structure. Like,
not
they have
with her.
No.
Not with her.
What do you mean?
Not with Kim.
Oh, but that's sad.
With Ye, it's probably different.
That's
like Ye
sad.
probably they obedient with him, but with her, it's like wait till they find out about the sex tape. Oh my God, they really gonna give her problems.
Yo, they probably gonna be like, the little respect I got for you just went out the window, sis. You my sis from now on.
Like, how do you? All right, let's circle back to that with parents. All right, parents have an embarrassing past, right? And they're still trying to raise you to be the opposite of how they acted out.
Yeah.
But, you know, that still lingers on. How do you explain that to your child without your child saying, you did that, so why I can't? Like, all right, smoking weed.
No, but I feel like that's just in anything. You see how, you know, how you could be a teenage parent, and then they say, like, usually it's going to be a cycle now because your kid is bound to be a teen parent.
What was that show?
I feel like that's the same thing with that. Like, you know, you could want the best for your kid, but you can't be upset. Well, you could be upset. I don't want to word this wrong because I don't want fucking Twitter. Not Twitter,
speak the truth. I
don't want them to attack me. But I feel like when you're a teen mom, you can do so much. And I feel like you got to do 10 times better than what your parents did raising you, because you don't want to raise a kid and then when they're 14, 15, 16, they get pregnant too. Because then what they're going to say? Well, you had me when I was 16. I mean, when you were 16. And it's like, what are you going to say at that point?
So you think it's more pressure to have a child at a younger age so your child can turn out the right way? Or it depends on the circumstance? I
think it depends on the circumstances.
Because, you know, a 16-year-old...
But I'll be damned if I was to have gotten pregnant at such a young age and I would have kept the kid, and then, like, you know, now in the future or whenever my kid is like 14 to 16, and if they were to get pregnant, and if that little would have... That
little heifer?
Yeah, like, imagine them saying, like, well, you got pregnant of me when you were 14, 15.
But... You know, like during the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of that though, right? Like
it was
16,
normal,
17,
yeah.
8. But that group, like that age group is different than this age group of like 16, 17, 18-year-olds. These 16, 17, 18-year-olds is wilding out here.
Wilding.
I feel like I could get shot by one.
Wilding. Like, yo, half the things that these kids are doing nowadays, I didn't even know about when I was that age. Like, I wasn't worried about... I blame social media. I blame social media and I blame the parents.
Well, yeah. Ultimately, it comes down to the household. How you get raised in your crib.
For sure.
Will always show out in the street.
For sure.
Like, these kids out here. And you get, like, sex is so accessible to these kids, and getting exposed to it at a young age, they just only going to just replicate
I feel like parents just got to go back to... You know what? I never got my ass beat when I was young, but I feel like parents need to start beating these kids up.
How many beat? You never got nothing?
Never.
I got beaten vividly.
Yeah.
3 times in my life.
No, I never. But I feel like that's what the fuck these kids need. They need to get...
Yeah, but it's different.
You need to go and beat your kids.
Yeah, but what if they can, like, fuck the parents up? Which, I mean, that's when... Well, no, most of these kids is being in their grandparents' crib because they know, like, oh, my grandparents going to let me do whatever.
And that's the parents' fault.
Yeah, it is.
That's the parents' fault. Because why you not being a fucking parent? Why do you got to keep your kid in your parents' house, you know?
I think it's... like me driving cabs, like I've seen like different scenarios with these parents, especially mothers, and it's like they get so annoyed with their kid too easily.
They don't have the patience.
Yeah. And it's like
I've been in a lot of situations that I don't want to talk about because, you know, I don't know who be watching, but yeah. I feel like, you know, when you decide to have a kid, you have to have patience. And even though I know as a human being, you might lose your patience, but it's like, it's a kid. Yeah.
It's a child. You was one of this.
Yeah.
Like, what's your take on when a parent say, "Oh, I got to go watch my son or my daughter"?
That's weird.
Like to say that shit.
That sounds mad weird. Like you're not babysitting. That's your kid.
Yeah, I think that's whack to say. It's like, what if your child starts to catch on to you saying that shit? Like, yo, I gotta go watch my kid. Like,
imagine, like my dad is babysitting me right now.
Like, nigga, that's your father.
Yeah, that's
like,
your
what
kid.
do you expect?
I don't know. That's very awkward. And I feel like if a guy says that, you're also a shitty person.
You voted off the island. Anytime you get cut, Playboy, don't say that shit no more. You're not watching your kid. You are with your child. You're parenting.
I got my kid today. That's it. You're not getting paid for a job. Babysitting is a job. And you're not getting paid. So word your shit correctly.
Should it be alternate weekends for a parent?
Yes.
Why is that so difficult for people to come to terms with? Like,
I don't know. I'm not a parent. And thank God I'm not a parent. Cause
that's scary now.
It's very scary. And I think I'm just going to, you know, leave Earth without having a kid.
So no kids for Gaby?
I don't think so.
It's not trending that way?
It's not giving.
It's not giving pregnancy.
It's not giving.
It's not giving gender reveal.
It's not giving. I'm not. No, I think I'm just gonna leave Earth one day, and I'm just not gonna have a kid. Well, if it happens, it happens. You know, because.
What type of mother you think you'll be?
A strict mother.
What's strict?
Strict.
Like, you know, the strict parents usually they kids.
Not
turn
strict
out
in the sense of you
ones.
can't look out the window, you can't go chill with your friends. Not
the
like
way
that.
You said it.
No, but
you're in bed by 6 p.m.
I
buddy.
feel like I'm gonna be the type of mother like the way my mom was with me. You know, my mom, she let me chill with my friends, and we had this like trust.
Till that street light came on.
You see. But I knew once that shit will come on, I knew. And my mother never hit me. So it's
she
like. She
gave you the look?
I feel the look. Once my mother gave me the look, I was praying to God.
Why is the look not like resurrected? Like these kids need to get looked at that way.
I don't know.
For them to know.
But I prayed to one day be like my mom was, because I feel like my mom's parenting was amazing. But like before she went to jail, obviously. Mm-hmm. Her parenting was amazing. You know, I had an amazing childhood prior to that whole thing happening. I have no complaints of my mom prior to that. Like I had an amazing childhood. So I hope that one day I could be half the mom that my mom was when I was a kid.
So like, what if a kid in today's age and they get the look from their parent and then the kid be like, nigga, you trying to have a staring contest?
Oh, then I will smack the shit out of my kid.
What's overboard for hitting a kid?
I feel like that's not these abuse. Kids are mass sensitive now. Like if you just smack them one time, they're gonna be like, eh.
Well, the Child Protective Services is a lot more sensitive too. You can't really discipline your child.
Bro, I wish somebody would tell me that.
I got beat, but I got beat for like peculiar shit. Like I peed in the tub with like standing outside the tub.
What?
Huh? What
the fuck is that?
Like I was standing outside the tub while the water was running. I just peed, and then my mom.
But why would you even?
It's peculiar, man. I was just like an interesting kid. It's like, yo, fuck it, it's going down the drain.
Interesting.
It is. It's going down the same pipe. But my dumb ass.
Well, you thought you was doing science?
Yeah, it's all going down the same place.
But boys are dumb.
You can't call me dumb. I was dumb for leaving the door open so my mom can see it.
Boys when they're young are dumb and nasty.
What else I used to do?
Because little boys be eating their boogers mad dirty.
I jumped at my mother.
Like to attack her?
Like quick story. So I was at my grandmother's house. I was waiting for my mom to get home. And then my grandma has this big mirror in her living room. So I'm in my uncle's room. And then the doorway to my uncle's room to the living room is like a straight line. So I'm inside the doorway. My mother's fixing her hair. And we lock eyes. I'm playing around. And I just go like this to her. And then she paused. And then she said, went back to just doing her hair. So I'm like, oh, I just got away with some shit. I was playing around. So we get in the cab. I'm still on ice right now. I'm like, she probably remember that shit. So we in the cab. I'm just asking her about her day to throw her brain off. I'm like, so Ma, how was work? I never asked her how was work. Like, hey Ma, how was work? Okay, you got here kind of late. We get to the crib. I start to take my book bag off. I'm like, okay. She go in the room, go in, back in the 90s, you had the answering machine. Our parents used to go there, listen to the answering machine. So she sits on the bed. She was like, Daquan, come here. I was like.
She said your full name.
Yeah, that's how I know I'm in trouble.
That's how we all knew. Because when my mother would be like, Gabriela, when she would say with the Spanish accent and drag the R. Oh.
It's a rap. So she say Daquan, but she said it soft. So I'm like, all right. She probably heard. I'd rather you hear answering machine about me fucking up in school than what you about to do. Mm-hmm. So I go in the room. She was like, come here. I was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, lay right here. She ripped my pants down. She got the belt. Don't you ever fucking jump at me again. When I tell you I had welts all over my ass cheek, I pull my pants up like, all right, Ma, I'm not going to do it again. I go in the living room. I sit there, cross my arms, and I'm looking for the phone to call my grandmother. She was like, you better not call Grandma. I was like, all right, bet. I go to bed. My ass is on fire. And then I turn around, I jumped at her again, but she didn't see it. She was asleep. We slept in the same bed. So I turned around, and I just like this stuff. You know how kids, like, when they get in trouble, they want to run away from home? That's how it was.
With a stick and the little white bag?
I just wanted to go, like, I'm running away. Like, where you going, nigga?
I'm dead. But, well, good thing you ain't run away, because we wouldn't have been here today.
And what I
don't know. But so we're gonna wrap up today's episode.
Rappy.
Also, I'm gonna repeat it again. Comment, like, share, subscribe for a chance to win 50 bash.
50 cashy.
And Stacey, I missed you today.
Yeah, I had to fill in your shoes. How she do her laugh? That's how she be doing her laugh?
I can't. All right, guys. We see you on next week's episode. Bye.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.